What is up, y'all? Long time no see. I am back today with another vlog, but it's also going to kind of be like a catch up with me type situation.
You in the past, I'm in the future. You mad that they don't salute you. I need a bag.
Thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you're new here, my name is Keela Trishan, and I make videos on lifestyle, insurance, and mental health. 9 to 5 videos as well. I also do vlogs, day in the life in the insurance industry, day in the life with a small child, all the things. If that's something that interests you, go on ahead and click that subscribe button below. Turn on your notifications so you don't miss anything from me. And if you're returning, thank you so much for coming back and thank you for your support. All right, y'all. So it has been like a month, I want to say, maybe 3 weeks to a month since I've actually filmed and posted anything, and that is for good reason, which I'll get into in a second. Basically, yeah, it's a Tuesday right now. I'm logged into work. I was off yesterday. Yesterday was the day after Mother's Day, and I had a doctor's appointment. Well, I took the day off just because it was the day after Mother's Day, but I planned a doctor's appointment for that day. So I was off, I got to chill and just not do anything but work out. So that was great. But I'm back today and, just catching up with my voicemails and emails. I have a meeting with my supervisor in about 45 minutes. And then today of all days, my coffee maker decided that it didn't want to work. I have a Keurig. I know I've like filmed it in different videos and stuff, but it's not working. So I was going to go and grab me some coffee, but since I have this meeting and sometimes the coffee lines be like a little long in the morning, I just had it delivered. So of course I had to pay a delivery fee. It's a lot going on. But anyways, yeah, I got some things to tell y'all. So if you're interested, definitely go on ahead and stay tuned. All right, y'all. So as I'm logging in, I'll just tell you guys like what has been going on. So long story short, I just turned 40 last year. And I know I had shared that on the channel, I'm stepping into this new decade and all that stuff. And y'all know last year was a really tough year for me, having lost my brother and stuff. It was a lot happening. So anyway, I was supposed to do my mammogram like after my 40th birthday. If you don't know, typically they recommend women start getting mammograms at 40. And I'm one of those people, like whatever is being recommended, I'm going to go do. So I had my first one this year. My doctor last year told me, like, it's okay if you don't go this year. You can do it when you get ready to do your annual for 2026, which is fine because my birthday is pretty late in the year and I'd already done my annual. So she was like, you can just wait, do it then. Cool. So back in March, I go and I do my my mammogram, and since it was the first one, I was kind of nervous, whatever. The process is really quick. So if you are nervous about getting them and you want to get it, it's not bad at all. I mean, they do squish your, boobie or whatever, but it's like for 10, 15 seconds. So it's not that bad. But I'll never forget, I was sitting at my desk. They told me it was going to be like close to 10 days before I got any results. And like 5 days later, I got an email from my doctor and then I got a call. So they found something, they found a mass. And I was so scared because you just hear mass and you just automatically start thinking the worst. At least me, I automatically start thinking the worst. Now, statistically speaking, and this is just based on what I've read because I did a lot of research, but they were saying that most like lumps, most things that are found are not the C word, but it's just the fact that they found something, I was like, what the hell? Like, because I've never really had situations like that. Like I've had, high blood pressure in the past and, usually it's like white coat syndrome. I've had like higher cholesterol. I've been able to bring that down. Things like that, that are serious, but, they are, you can work on them through exercise and diet. I've never had anything like that. So anyway, I got a call and they were saying that they need additional imaging. Now, because this was my first mammogram, they didn't have any previous mammograms to like compare this mass to. So they wanted me to come in and do additional imaging and just kind of look at the area and see if what they're seeing is actually something that needs to be taken seriously or if it's just like something benign. So I ended up going in, I want to say like a week and a half after that, and they did a second mammogram and they did a ultrasound. So they did confirm that they found, a mass like on the side of my chest. But the technician, she was like, oh, this doesn't look like anything. Like, okay, I'll bring the doctor in and then they'll kind of let us know. The doctor will let us know if they want to do a biopsy or, if you just have to come back like every 6 months to make sure it's stable. So I'm like, okay. Now, even though she's telling me that she doesn't think it's anything, for me, it's like, I don't really, like, I take that with a grain of salt because I need y'all to definitively tell me it's nothing. So the doctor comes in and he seems pretty like chill. He seems cool. And he's like, yeah, like, I'm not really that concerned, but because it is your first one and, we don't know your breast tissue, we do recommend that you do a biopsy. So then I'm freaking out again because you just hear biopsy. And for me, I associate biopsy with the C word. Okay. So I'm a bit of a hypochondriac when it comes to my health. And also, like, I lost my brother due to a health situation. Well, it was diabetes, but like, I've lost family members due to, health situations, whatever. So I was scared. So I called my mom freaking out and, she talked me off the ledge, told me about her experience. She had something similar, but it was benign, whatever. Okay, cool. So they scheduled me for this biopsy because I was like kind of on the fence. I didn't really want to do it, but it was more fear. But I'm like, you know what? Scared or not, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. So I ended up having the biopsy last week. It was like the Tuesday before Mother's Day. And they told me, oh, like, you'll get the results in like 3 to 5 days. They were super sweet when I went in there. Like, the process for me, it wasn't painful. I know for some people it is painful. They do numb you, before they put the needle in the area. If anybody is like curious and like wants to know how this process goes, because I did a lot of research prior to me going in, just like going on, and not Google, but YouTube. I was going on YouTube looking for like people that had the biopsy experience so I could know what to expect. So if anybody is interested in that, let me know and I can tell you about my specific situation. But for me, I didn't feel any pain. They numbed me and they, put the needle in, got their samples. I was good to go. So of course I was scared for like the next few days and I was like praying that I would get my negative results before Mother's Day. Because I'm like, I would just really like to put this to bed because it had been like a month between them telling me I needed a biopsy or they recommended a biopsy and me actually getting it. So the good news is it was benign. I was so happy. Like, I was so happy I cried. I am not one of those people that like cries happy tears for real. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm just too much of a gangster. I don't be crying like that. Like, I cry when it's like something serious. I don't cry happy tears, but I was so nervous and scared during the situation. And not the whole time. It wasn't like it was constantly on my mind because I did have a good feeling, but I just knew that I wouldn't be able to completely rest until I got my negative results. So when I got the email saying that it was negative and then the radiologist confirmed it's negative and it was something called a fibroadenoma, which to me sounds like a fibroid of the breast tissue. I've had fibroids before too, so I think there may be a correlation. I'm no doctor, I'm no expert, but I think there may be a correlation. Anyway, it's benign. So when I tell you, like, I could breathe easier on Friday, I was so just grateful, like so grateful. And I don't think I've ever been as grateful for anything in my life, like, especially just after having so much like craziness going on. Like, that was just like, it was great news. So with that, because I was so stressed out during that time, I had all these like plans, like, oh, I'm gonna film this video, but I really couldn't get my head in it, honestly, because I just had this other thing hanging over me. So I was like, I need to get through this. I need to get my results and just, I need to put that to bed before I can like film and be able to show up. Like, if I had tried to film before, I would have been blubbering. It would have sounded crazy. So forgive me for, taking so long to film something else. I know I've had episodes in the past where I have, gone ghost just because of life and just being busy. But this one, I really needed to take the time away. So I'm back. But anyway, now that I just told you guys my whole life story. Oh, wait, what's that? Oh, my coffee should be here soon. Okay, I'm getting a text message saying it should be here soon. So I'm very excited. But anyways, so yeah, log back on, today. And thank God there wasn't too many issues that happened while I was out of the office. I did get transferred this claim from this lady. It's funny because my supervisor, she's really sweet. She's really sweet. And I kind of knew that this was going to be some bullshit when this lady got transferred over to me, but apparently she asked me by name, which irritates me. You just be surprised, like calling people back and like responding to people, it really goes a long way. I posted something about this not long ago, but that's really what people want. They want to be acknowledged. They want you to, keep them at the top of mind. It's like a lot of people, they know that you have other assignments, but they just want to make sure that they weren't lost in translation. And I do try my best. I've told you guys, even if I can't call somebody back, I will like email them or text them like, hey, I haven't forgot about you. This is what's going on. I'll be able to talk on the phone at this date, that kind of thing. So yeah. I think doing that has helped. But with that said, this lady wanted to be transferred to me specifically because my lovely colleague was not calling her back and she was getting frustrated. Now, the thing is, she calls, well, she doesn't really call a lot. I kind of shut that down. I told her if you need to talk, we need to set up an appointment to do so. She emails a lot. And apparently she was doing this with the other adjuster and she was doing it with our vendors. So, of course she made it seem as if he was the problem, but actually it's her. So I've been kind of able to keep her at bay. But of course I come in and there's like 2 emails from her, but she did get my out of office message and she's like, oh, just contact me when you're back. So we have a good relationship. She's just annoying. So I need to get rid of her. So yeah, just a couple things that I need to address. Like I got a couple estimates in at the end of last week, like contents estimates for total loss items. So I need to review those and, just get these people paid. Because once I can pay them for their contents, they can start like purchasing new furniture and purchasing new clothing and things like that, because some of these people are ready to go back home. And I'm still waiting on the interview that I was telling you guys about. I think in my last vlog, we're still not there yet where we know when we're going to be interviewing for that other role I was telling you about. So yeah, we're kind of in limbo and I'm playing catch up today. So let me go on ahead and get to work. I want to set up a little, like, I don't know, like a list of claims that I want to talk to my supervisor about. And then, yeah, I'll be back probably after that meeting to let you guys know what's going on, what I've accomplished, and what I plan on doing for the day. So, yes, I'll be back. Yeah, I think, man. I know that's probably part of the reason she's like, okay, give me the fuck out of here. All right, you guys, so that was a pretty productive meeting with my supervisor. I usually don't like to come back to the office to a meeting, but it's a standing meeting that we have. So it worked out. I didn't have much to talk to her about, but the 2 things that I did need to talk to her about really needed to be addressed. I have a customer who is having some issues with the mail system around his home. And so he's asking for the payments temporarily to be FedEx to him. We had about 3 or 4 checks that we sent him over the last like couple of weeks. They were sent back to my company. So I got the approval from her to go on ahead and just request a FedEx so we can get those out to him and he's good to go. Then let's see, I have another customer. I'm trying to pick up their salvage items. So they have a bunch of like total loss contents that are on site that my company wants to pick up. And I sent a vendor out there, but the vendor has not responded. And I'm like, what's happening? So I got to reach out to the vendor to like follow up on the assignment and then also get an answer to the public adjuster's office, letting them know, hey, I'm working on it. I'm back in the office. We're good to go, whatever. So again, small things, but we're rocking and rolling. So what I'm working on today, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier. I feel like I did, but in case I didn't, I did get a couple of estimates while I was out of the office. Right now, contents is a big thing. We're trying to get people paid out at least their actual cash value so they can start replacing some of the items. Since we're like about a year and a half into these wildfires, the people that are still in temporary housing, depending on their ALE limits, they're getting close to it or they're running dangerously low. So a lot of those people are trying to ramp up and get, things purchased so they can go back home, especially the people that are scheduled to go back home within the next month or 2. So yeah, I want to just like work on those things because once I get those payments out, it's kind of like, I'll just be waiting for them to let me know, hey, I'm ready for clearance testing. Hey, I'm ready to collect depreciation, things like that. I also got an email, well, two emails from these 2 customers. I should be able to close these claims relatively quickly, but one customer asked about some blinds. I guess like the smoke smell is still in the blinds and it's a rental property. So he is asking for permission to replace these. In the bigger scheme of things, it's not that big of a deal. And we've had to replace a lot of blinds depending on the material. Because sometimes the smoke smell does not come out, especially if they're, stationary and like not something that's easily like some of the blinds are not easy to just take down, clean, and put them back. Some of them can kind of be ruined. So you might be in a situation where it's just more cost effective to replace him. And this gentleman is asking for that, and he's been pretty cooperative throughout the process. He hasn't really given any issues and stuff like that. So I'm like, if this is what we need to close it, let's just get an estimate and then see what it would be to get these taken care of. I have another insured, same thing. She's almost done and ready to be closed out, but she's trying to collect some recoverable depreciation. So I told her what she needed to send me the proof of payment for the item showing that she actually incurred the recoverable depreciation. So once I am able to go through that, I can likely just get her paid and get her closed out. So that'll be a blessing, because I have some other claims that are coming in because there's been movement within the department. We've had a couple people get promoted. We've had a couple people go back to their normal jobs. So there is going to be a shuffle of like newer claims, not new claims, but claims like that are transferred. So they'll be new to me. So I'm just trying to clear up as much as I can before this influx comes and, keep my head above water. That's my update for now. I'm going to go back to work, finish these little items because I have about like right at 2 hours before lunch. Y'all know if you've been watching me, I try to get the bulk of my serious work done before lunch. And today I'm working out on my lunch. So I'll be doing cardio today. So yeah, y'all, got a lot to do so I can be, ready to go. But I'll be back later to check in with you guys. All right, you guys. So I am downstairs in the garage. Forgive the shakiness, but I'm holding the phone with my hand and I'm doing my cardio, my lunch break cardio. So wish me luck. I am now officially a runner. Been running for about 7 weeks now, and I'm getting good. It's hard, but I'm getting good. So yeah, I'm gonna go on ahead and zone out, do my run, and I'll get back to you guys after lunch. All right, y'all. So I'm gonna be honest, that run and bike ride combo kind of kicked my ass. Like, for real, for real. I don't know if you can tell, but I am like so sweaty. I like to like come back upstairs, cool down. Like you don't really want to take a shower while you're still sweating because then you're just gonna continue to sweat. So I like to cool all the way down and then go get in the shower. So basically what I'm gonna do is just prepare my lunch, eat that. By the time I'm done with that, I'm gonna be like working and eating, but by the time I'm done with that, I'll be able to go take my shower, change into some lounge clothes, and finish out the rest of the day. So while I was out, I just logged back in to see just, what was going on. And I have an email from that customer I was talking about this morning that like keeps hitting me up like all day, every day. So she hit me up asking me about a statement of loss, which I can send her. It's fine. But like I told her that I need like, a few business days to get that together. It's still within the few business days that I told her. So I'm just going to respond back like, I'll get it to you tomorrow. I don't think I'm going to have time to do it today. And I don't want to overpromise and underdeliver. So I'll let her know I'll get it to her by end of day tomorrow. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. I was still reviewing one of the contents estimates. This estimate was like 270 something pages. Okay. So it took me hours to go through it. And basically what I'm doing is I'm looking for like key items. So I'm looking to see if they put the special limits on the contents. If you work in the industry, you know that there's limits on rugs, there's limits on computers, there's limits on jewelry. If it's jewelry that can't be cleaned, and usually that would just be costume jewelry. If it's like real, precious stones, then we typically just pay the customer to clean those because you can clean that type of stuff. So yeah, that's basically where I'm at. So I'm almost done with just like going through everything, like kind of like piece by piece. And then I'm going to create my note and hopefully be able to send it off for payment today instead of having to send it back to the vendor for changes and all that stuff, because that takes forever. So if I can at least get this lady paid today, then I will have gotten something accomplished. Other than that, I had a customer, I don't know if I talked about this earlier, but I had a customer whose checks were getting returned. So I did get approval to FedEx everything to him. So I did it this morning, like sent the request, but I haven't gotten a response back. So I'm hoping they respond back ASAP so I can tell the customer, hey, don't trip. It's, the checks are being FedExed. And I think that's it for right now. But yeah, let me go on ahead and prepare my food. And then I'll get back with you guys in a little bit and let you know how I'm ending the day. Hey, y'all. All right, so it is nothing like a midday shower. Listen, and if you don't take midday showers, you should try. Normally, I take my showers like morning and evening, but obviously after a workout, I just feel so refreshed. I feel like a new woman, like almost like I have a new leash on life. But anyways, let me tell y'all what is happening so far. So I got an email, the checks that I told you that I needed to FedEx. So I just got sent a form that I need to complete to send off these checks, whatever. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then what else? Oh, so I'm gonna finish up, like I was telling you guys before, that contents thing. I'm almost done. So I'm writing up my like review on the estimate, and I'm gonna submit that for payment today. So I should hopefully get approval or feedback within like the next couple of days. And then I'm gonna send that lady the statement of loss because she has been asking for it, and it was my bad. I looked at our email trail and I was supposed to send it last week. So I told her that I would get it to her by end of day today as opposed to tomorrow. So I'll get that done. It's already completed, but I think I need to add like the last couple of payments, whatever, so it'll be up to date. And there is one more that I had on my docket for today. So there's a gentleman he's back home. He's gotten like repairs and stuff done. So right now what we're doing is like reimbursing him. He's supposed to be sending in like his documentation to show what he's paid for his restoration and repairs, but he's only sent like a few things and they don't add up to like what he's asking for. So we had a vendor go out to compare or to prepare a comparable estimate. So my supervisor, I had sent out the payment like last week, the week before, and it was denied. Basically, there were some payments that we made before, so I forgot to subtract a couple of things. So she adjusted it and basically put the numbers in my notes and was like, pay this. So I need to go and pay that because the agent has been reaching out to me asking for an updated statement of loss and asking for like an update on the claim. And honestly, she's stressing me out. So I want to get those things done. The way I'm able to kind of like work on my desk and make sure that I'm not like being bombarded is to get things done in a timely manner. Like I'm not perfect. I'm definitely not perfect. But when people ask for, especially if it's like something small, like the statement of loss or, just something like even this FedEx thing, if I can just take care of those things and just get it off my desk and it allows me time to work on the big stuff so I don't have a lot of interruptions. So yeah. So anyway, I have about like an hour and 20 minutes left of my workday, unless I choose to do a little bit of OT, which honestly I don't think I'm going to do today because I need to cook tonight. But I am just going to make sure those are like the three things that I want to make sure I get done before the day is over. And then anything else is extra. But yeah, I'll be around and then I'll be checking in with you guys one more time before the end of the day to let you know where I left off at and how successful I was at completing my task. All right, y'all, I am back. I almost forgot to film this clip. So I think I deserve a round of applause, okay? But anyways, I've been done with work for like, I don't know, maybe like 45, 50 minutes-ish. I got everything I needed to get done. So I did do some overtime. I did about like 30 minutes or so. And I was able to get that payment out on the contents bid that I told you I was reviewing pretty much all day. So I'm just waiting for approval on that. I got that revised payment out to that customer I was telling you guys about that my supervisor recalculated. Just waiting for approval on that. I got that lady her statement of loss, and I also got the FedEx set up for the gentleman whose checks were returned. So it was a productive day, and especially since I was out of the office for a couple of days, very, very proud of myself just for getting these things done, because I promise you, as I was getting closer to my off time, I was like, well, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to complete all this, but I set a goal and I was able to complete it. So my closing advice is don't bite off more than you can chew. I feel like I try to mix up the activities so it's not too overwhelming. So I had two pretty big tasks, which was the contents estimate and then getting the payment resent to that other customer, because I had to kind of go over my supervisor's notes, so it took some time. And then the two smaller tasks was getting that statement of loss and getting the FedEx situation taken care of. So listen, I was able to take care of 4 people And then tomorrow I'll work on another 4 or 5 people or whatever. And I just keep going like that until the week ends. And then I, just kind of reschedule everything and try to plan my week like that. So anyways, if you made it this far and you have not subscribed, please go on ahead and click that subscribe button below. Turn on your notifications so you don't miss anything from me. If you have not liked this video, please click that thumbs up. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm. If there's anything that you want to see from me, I know I mention this in every video, but I want to continue to mention it. If there's anything in particular that you're looking for regarding 9-to-5s, regarding insurance, day in the life, lifestyle, anything, let me know. I definitely take you guys' suggestions into consideration when I'm planning out content. So, I want to put out what the people want to see. And with that said, you guys have an amazing day, and I'll see you next time.
You mad that they don't salute you. I need a bag, size is super. They turned your bag, it's like I never knew you. Leader.